headed out on a little solo mission, and in today's video I want to teach you guys how you can do a solo travel video, because of course a lot of the time when you guys are traveling or going on missions, you're going to be all alone and you're not going to have anyone else to help you shoot. So that's exactly what we're going to be doing today. And then towards the end of this video, I'm going to actually show you guys the edit and the video that we were actually able to make all by ourselves. I've made this one an extra little bit tricky for me, because not only am I going to be solo making the actual travel video, I'm also going to be solo making this entire behind the scenes video of that. So I'm kind of like solo making two videos at once. But I think we're going to get some really cool stuff, and I'm excited to take you guys along for the whole process of doing that. Today is sponsored by Storyblocks, which is an online stock media library with well over 1 million assets. And I'm going to speak to you guys a little bit more about them later on in this video. My first stop's going to be this like natural little rock pool that we got going over here. And I think what I'm going to be doing is shooting on the GoPro for most of this, not only because the GoPro is waterproof and I want to get some shots of actually going under the water. I also think it's super important to introduce movement into any of your shots, and one of the easiest ways for me to do that filming by myself is getting like POV style shots with the GoPro. So I'm gonna go for a little swim, get some shots, and we'll see what we're able to come up with. Depends what kind of video you guys are creating, but for this one in particular, I want it to be kind of high energy. And one of the ways that I can do that while I'm actually shooting is if I'm filming with the GoPro, for example, I'll run around to places rather than kind of just like be standing in one area. So I'll move and be high energy myself, and that's going to help create more energy in the video. There's also going to be a whole bunch of editing tricks, of course, that we can change the energy of the video, like the music, but there's a good way to just change it while you're filming it, and that's by just being high energy yourself, running around, moving quickly, like getting to places. That's going to just introduce a nice feeling into the video. Woo! Quick little swim, water's freezing, but I think we got a couple usable shots. No time to hang around though, because we have a lot more things to film today, so on to the next spot. On the way to our next spot, I actually stumbled across this really cool little road that is perfect for skateboarding. So I'm going to take the opportunity to just get a couple of shots of me kind of skating down the road, cruising around a little bit. I think it's going to fit well with the video and the whole vibe. And the road that I actually found is super amazing, out in the middle of nowhere. We're just surrounded by mountains. I'm also gonna get one more shot of me actually just kind of like skating here and getting off my board, walking to that little bit of rocks and looking out at the view. I think it's cool to unfold a little bit more of stories than just like random clips next to each other. So if I can build a bit of a sequence here, for example, of like skating down the hill, running and looking at the view, I think when you guys are putting your edit together, everything adds up a lot nicer. So I'm gonna get one shot just here of stopping, running to the rocks, and then I'm going to do the same thing with a POV angle with the GoPro. And as you guys can see, the GoPro, or having different tools, is actually really important when you guys are filming yourself. You can do it with one big camera like this, but you're not going to have as many options, for example, as if you were to have something like a GoPro. We're also going to be using a couple of other tools later on in the video, which I'll show you guys. I'm just setting my angle up here from the ground, looking at the rocks, and I can stop in front and then walk off. Sweet! Okay, boom, once again, that is all of the shots that we're going to need for this section. Woo! This is an action-packed day. We still have so many things to shoot, and we're just getting started. On to the next spot, let's cruise. Another tool that can be so useful when you guys are trying to film yourself is one of these, a drone, because of course if you guys can fly the drone, that's just another way that you can introduce movement into your shots. And the drone also has some really awesome tracking features, so you can try and even like track something like yourself or a vehicle and move around, and the drone's going to follow you automatically. Right now I found a really cool little dirt road that goes down here next to a huge river just over there that you can't really see, and I think this is the perfect little spot to just take the drone up, see if I can track the car and get a nice little shot of driving down next to the river. It's going to work well as like a transition style shot for switching between scenes. I can show the van like driving around, making more of that road trip feeling for the video. Okay, we got the drone tracking us right now and it's working surprisingly well. I'm driving, I can just leave the drone to let it do what it wants to do. Keeping an eye on it, of course, just to make sure it doesn't like crash into something crazy. But it's looking really sick. Oh, okay, it lost us. Pretty impressed, not gonna lie. I think that worked really, really well. It lost us at the end there. While I am here and have the drone up in the air, I'm just gonna get a couple other shots just showing the surrounding area, some of these mountains, maybe the river down here, because it looks really, really nice and I can always use them to splice between other little sections. I've made it to my next and final stop for a couple of our like last shots that we need for the video, but you guys can see very much so that we can utilize a lot of tools to help us actually get the shots that we want to get if we're filming all by ourselves. And that brings me to the sponsor of today's video, which is Storyblocks. Storyblocks is an online stock media library with well over 1 million assets, and they can be so valuable as a tool for creators and even more so for solo creators. If you guys are ever in a scenario where you can't get the shots that you need, Storyblocks has stock footage of almost anything you can imagine. So specifically, if you guys wanted like a drone shot of a crazy location, maybe you didn't have the drone, maybe you couldn't fly it, you can get that off of Storyblocks. They also have some amazing other assets like titles, motion graphics, and sound effects. So they are highly recommended for all content creators like you and I. They offer a monthly subscription for a small fee, and with that subscription you get unlimited downloads that you can use in as many videos as you like. Go and check them out, they're going to be linked in the top of the description. So as you guys can see, it's like super overcast now. We're in a completely different location and it's really, really windy. So I'm going to do my best to get the shots that we need for the ending of our video. First thing I'm doing, just getting an establishing shot, then I'm gonna get some cutaway shots of little scenes around here like the waves, and then the ending is just gonna be me walking up onto those rocks over there. I've just noticed like a really cool rainbow out that side, so I'm gonna swap lenses, get one more shot of the rainbow with the longer lens so I can see it nicely, just as another like little cutaway B-roll section that I can use to the main like shots of me actually walking around. Next up for our scene, I want to get a shot of me just walking out onto that rock, so I'm going to set this main camera up over here, get a nice big wide showing that whole scenery. I'm going to get that same shot again, but from this perspective, looking at my face, and if I keep my hand down low enough, it doesn't even really look like I'm doing like a selfie angle. It could be filmed from somewhere else. So let's try one of those and just run up onto here. And then while I'm here, I'll just do a couple wraparounds, I guess. For my final shot, I'm just gonna get one more shot that was similar to my establishing shot, but I'm just gonna kind of show the scenery and have a nice pullback feeling, giving that sense of leaving, and then we're gonna have all of the shots that we need to put together our solo travel video. That is going to be all of the shots that we need for our video. Let's have a look at how it ended up once I put an edit together with some cool music and sound effects. A couple of little editing tricks, but nothing too crazy. Let's have a watch. that was it. I hope you guys thought it was cool. I didn't go too crazy with any of the editing, as well as not going too crazy with any of the locations or activities. I wanted to keep it nice and accessible, not some like crazy ideas. You guys can shoot the same style content anywhere you are, and I hope that these tricks and tips helped you for the next time you guys do end up doing the solo travel mission. You can still capture something awesome of that trip. Remember to check out Storyblocks. They're going to be linked in the top of the description. They are truly an amazing platform for content creators like you and I, and it's definitely worth having a little sign up and using some of the assets that they provide. That's going to be it for this one, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.